Hello everyone, this is Nocturne, and welcome back to some more Final Fantasy XIII Story Primer. We're going to go ahead and jump into Episode 3 right where we left off with Pulsian Menace. Snow pleads with the Pulse fal'Cie. He offers himself in Sarah's place if it will release her from her fate. The fal'Cie remains silent. Seeing Snow's desperate pleas go unanswered, Lightning and Saz draw weapons on the lower world being. Even if the fal'Cie will soon be destroyed along with the entire vestige, they have reasons to defeat it with their own hands. They work together to bring down the fal'Cie, and the vestige now plummets towards the lake below. A final wave of power explodes from the dying fal'Cie, transforming the water and surrounding area into solid crystal. Lightning and the others do not witness this breathtaking event. Upon defeating the fal'Cie, they are drawn through a rift into a dimension where an immense, otherworldly presence awaits. Onto their bodies, it sears cursed brands. Onto their minds, the vision of a beast-destroying cocoon. Swept along by unimaginable energies, the helpless companions are swallowed by a lightless void. As Snow drifts in the darkness, one memory fights to the surface of his consciousness. Bound in darkness. Lightning feels nothing but anger towards the Pulse fal'Cie. It had taken Sarah and cursed her with l'Cie's doomed existence. It is the underlying reason for the purge, and it is an enemy to be cut down if she is to fulfill Sarah's final request, to save Cocoon. Lightning's aggression provokes the fal'Cie into action, and it attacks her. Saz draws his guns with grim resolve, and Snow joins the battle without hesitation. As they deal the killing blow to the master of the vestige, a flash of light rends the air. They are pulled into a swirling void of chaos where they are bound by an ominous and inexorable entity. Branded with the arcane markings, the companions are then assaulted with the vision of a terrible beast tearing Cocoon apart. Soon after, the vestige finally succumbs to the combined attacks of the Sanctum forces. In the midst of the chaos, a memory surfaces from the depths of Snow's fading awareness. A marriage proposal made to his beloved Sarah under a night sky lit with the colors of exploding fireworks. Can his wish for a happy future ever be granted now? And that was Chapter 2. Chapter 3. Branded. After being caught in the destruction of the vestige, the group awakens directly under the hanging edge on the expanse of a solidified Lake Brescia. An after effect of the energies released by the dying fal'Cie, the waters of the lake are now frozen in crystal splendor. Despite having survived a fall from an incredible height, the companions are unable to appreciate their luck, as each one of them now bears a brand of alien design. The mark seared on their bodies signifies their servitude to a fal'Cie and the gift of magical power. It is the brand of a cursed l'Cie. Worse, they must now complete their assigned focus if they are to avoid becoming monstrous Seath, though none can say for sure what their mission actually entails. Their only clue is the vision they all witnessed of the great beast laying waste to Cocoon. Ragnarok. Though all signs point to a bleak and tragic destiny, Snow alone remains optimistic. Convinced that his focus is to grant Sarah's wish and save Cocoon, he sets off full of confidence. A vision shared. Now that they are Pulse l'Cie, Lightning and the others try to figure out what their focus could be. The only thing they know for certain is that the rampaging beast Ragnarok is somehow involved. Snow is convinced that their focus is to protect their world by defeating the beast, but one fact contradicts his belief. Pulse l'Cie are hated enemies of Cocoon. A Pulse fal'Cie would never assign such a task to its servants. Lightning is infuriated by Snow's refusal to accept this logic. As she sees it, the fal'Cie not only made them into l'Cie, it also took her sister from her. The former soldier could never bring herself to meekly follow the orders of such a being, and Snow's apparent surrender to its will, however misinterpreted, is more than she can stand. As they trade heated words, Sanctum soldiers surround their location. Argents will have to wait. For now, they must concentrate on surviving. Partings and promises. Is she dead, or merely sleeping? Sarah, now a silent statue, is trapped in a crystal embrace. Lightning doesn't wish to leave her behind, but reluctantly says her farewells. The army is on their trail. If they stop to dig Sarah free, their pursuers will certainly catch them. However, Snow is not ready to say goodbye. He elects to stay behind, protect Sarah, and somehow fulfill her wish to save Cocoon. Knowing that they cannot change his mind, Lightning and the others continue on their way. Hope drags himself away from Snow for what might be the final time, and the chance to say what he is burning to say is lost. Casting the net. Lightning and the others leave Snow behind with the crystallized Sarah. As they continue their flight across the glassy expanse of Lake Brescia, the four companions spy a large contingent of Sanctum soldiers. In order to hunt down and exterminate the purged fugitives, the government is mobilizing an inordinate number of troops. The excessive reaction is further proof of Cocoon's fear and hatred of Pulse. Even those who have barely come into contact with lower world elements cannot be permitted to exist. This all-consuming fear of some imagined corruption is the origin of the Purge. The entire population of a town was subjected to the Purge simply for living near the uncovered Pulse Fal'Cie. It was Cocoon's citizens, in their terror, who allowed such an extreme policy to become a reality. The government simply acted in response to the will of its people, and Eden, the Fal'Cie who guides the Sanctum, gave its tacit consent through silence. Now, after untold bloodshed, a military net is closing in around the fleeing l'Cie, driven by the clamoring of a panicked and angry populace. The only way is up. Lightning and the others are now cursed l'Cie. If they don't complete the focus given to them by the Fal'Cie, they are destined to become mindless Seath. But how can they complete a focus that they don't understand? Their shared vision of the great beast Ragnarok laying waste to their world is their only clue. That, and the fact that Pulse l'Cie are held to be the mortal enemies of Cocoon. Could their focus really be to orchestrate the destruction of their own home? Snow doesn't think so. He believes their task is to fulfill Sarah's parting wish by keeping Cocoon safe. After all, wasn't she a l'Cie just like them? His shaky logic only serves to infuriate Lightning, who holds him responsible for her sister's fate. Their confrontation is cut short by the arrival of their Sanctum pursuers. Having made their escape, Lightning and the others pass through the ruins of a city damaged several centuries ago in the war with Pulse. Amidst the rubble, they happen upon an airship which they board in the hope of finally shaking their relentless army. Snow, meanwhile, remains behind with the crystallized Sarah. The twin sisters. There is no doubt in Snow's mind. They may be Pulse l'Cie, but there is no way they can be enemies of Cocoon. Sarah's last words before she turned to crystal are proof enough for him that their focus is to defeat Ragnarok and protect their world. Snow stays behind to defend his trapped fiancée after Lightning and the others decide to continue onward. Brought to his knees by wave after wave of PSICOM soldiers during a protracted battle, the desperate young man is suddenly overcome by a strange phenomenon. The twin sisters of Shiva, Styria and Nyx, appear before him in a blinding flash of light. They easily dispatch the remaining troops and then turn on Snow. He managed to defeat the Ice Eidolons, but is soon captured by an unfamiliar Sanctum unit. A striking woman accompanies the soldiers, a woman with a l'Cie brand. Meanwhile, try as they might, Lightning's group cannot shake their determined pursuers. Crippled by enemy fire, their airship plummets towards the ground. And that brings us to the end of Chapter 3. Chapter 4. Nothing but grief. Their airship damaged during the escape from the army, the l'Cie are forced to make a crash landing in the Vile Peaks. Accustomed to the rigors of conflict, Lightning immediately sets off to outdistance any pursuit, trailed by hope. Exhausted and on the brink of despair, Sawes cannot bring himself to follow. He knows the armor will never stop chasing them, and even if they do somehow evade capture, they face transformation into Seath. How can they complete a focus they don't understand? Despite the futility of the situation, Sawes cannot leave Vanille to fend for herself, and he forces his reluctant legs to carry him onward. Far ahead of the others, Lightning recalls a conversation with her old superior, Lieutenant Amadar, in which he had warned her not to get involved in anything connected to the lower world. She, of course, subsequently chose not to heed his warning, and after confronting the Pulse Fal'Cie, found herself branded a l'Cie. Now anger smolders within her, anger at her transformation into a l'Cie, anger at being forced to flee like a fugitive, and anger at herself for allowing it all to happen. I want to be purged. The Sanctum announces that the Pulse Fal'Cie and any civilians who may have come into contact with its influences are to be deported to the world below. Knowing that Sarah is being held by that offending creature, Lightning reasons that the only way to reach her sister before they are exiled is to board the train and be purged herself. After coming to this conclusion, she acts without hesitation. She knows the risks, but there are some things you just have to do. As Hope listens to Lightning's tale, he begins to realize how different they are. He knows he doesn't have the strength to charge into certain danger, even if he has no other choice. Unable to keep up with the battle-hardened soldier, Hope falls further into despair. Meanwhile, Saz and Viniel fight their way along a different route. Like Lightning, Saz had joined the Purge voluntarily, but now he simply acts as fear and despair prompt him, his former resolve seemingly forgotten. And I think with that, we're going to go ahead and say this is the end of Story Primer episode number 3. Again, hope you guys have been enjoying this and are finding them useful. This has been Nocturne, and I will see you guys in the next episode.